Okay, here's a video on lesson 68, equations with rational exponents. Our homework is on the second section. I'll do a quick review of how the first section works, just in case you weren't here for class. The idea is this. What do you do when you have to divide two exponential expressions? What you do is you subtract. Division turns into subtraction. So you subtract top exponent minus bottom exponent. So if I was looking at, for instance, question number 3. What I would do is 3 over 4, 3 and 4 are just numbers, so we'll keep those like that, 3 over 4. But the x's have common bases, and they each have an exponent. So what we do is we do top exponent minus bottom exponent. So we have x to the negative 5 over 4 minus 3 over 2. Now, you have two options. When you're simplifying this here, circled in orange, you could either multiply by 2 and multiply by 2 to make them have the same denominator, or you can take it to your calculator and make your life even easier. Negative 5/4 minus 3/2 can be fixed in the calculator like this. Negative 5/4 in parentheses minus 3 over 2. Enter. It gives me an ugly decimal. So I hit math, enter, enter, and it changes it back into a fraction for me. So that's equivalent to negative 11 over 4. So this guy right here is actually equal to negative 11 over 4. So I can just rewrite this once to have my answer nice and clean. 3/4 x to the negative 11 over 4 power. Okay, so that's how the first section worked, just in case any of these questions come up on your Regents or any tests. The real focus, though, was on solving an equation involving a rational exponent. So I believe I still have the answer written here. How do you? Okay, it's 2 steps. Clear out all this other junk so you can focus on what's important here. What we need to do is we need to isolate the exponential term and then raise both sides to the reciprocal power. So I'm going to do 2 examples just to show you how this works. Those examples are going to be both from the back. And we're going to start off with question number 20. So I've rewritten question number 20. 4m to the 3 over 2 power minus 5 is equal to 2043. Now, my steps say that I need to isolate the exponential term. The only thing with an exponent on it is the m. It's important that you note that there are no parentheses here, so the 3/2 does not apply to anything other than the m. So I need to isolate this guy. That means I need to get everything else away from it. So what do I need to address? I need to get rid of the minus 5, and I need to get rid of the 4. So let's do that in steps. I'm going to get rid of the minus 5 first. So I add 5 and add 5. Now I get 4m to the 3 over 2 power is equal to 2048. Now remember, I still need to isolate this. It's not isolated yet, so I have to address the 4. How do I get rid of the 4? By dividing it off. Divide it off. I get that m to the 3/2 power is equal to 512. Now, in order to get rid of this once it's isolated, I need to raise it to the reciprocal power, which means flipped, so raise it to the 2/3 power. Anything I do on one side, I have to do on the other. And these reciprocal powers will cross out. That was the big move. So what I get now is that I get m is equal to 512 raised to the 2/3 power. I can do that manually, but it's easier to do in a calculator. So 512 raised to the 2/3 power, all fractions in parentheses. And I get that that is equal to 64. Now let's do one that's a little bit more complicated, a few more problem-solving steps involved, and that's question number 26. It says 425 is equal to 2 times negative 3 minus 13m raised to the 3/2 power minus 7. So let's address, what is the exponential term that needs to be isolated? It's everything that has the 3/2 power on it. So before I can use the reciprocal exponent, I need to get rid of this, and I need to get rid of this. So let's just take it step by step. What should I get rid of first, the 2 or the negative 7? The negative 7 needs to get moved over with addition. Once I move that over, I get 432 is equal to 2 times negative 3 minus 13m raised to the 3/2 power. I'm almost isolated here. I just need to get rid of the 2. So what I'll do is I'll divide off the 2, because it's attached with multiplication. 432 divided by 2 is going to be 216, is equal to, parentheses, negative 3 minus 13m raised to the 3/2 power. Now it's isolated. There's nothing else on the outside. Everything on the right side has the 3/2 power on it. So I can use the reciprocal now. I apply the reciprocal to this side, meaning flip it, and it becomes 2/3. These are flips, reciprocals of each other. Anything I do on one side, I have to do on the other, so this gets raised to the 2/3 power as well. These exponents will cancel each other out. Now I still have some steps left. But on the left side, I want to process this. My calculator will handle this. 216 raised to the 2/3. 216 raised to the 2/3 power. And enter. So that's equal to 36. 36 is equal to negative 3 minus 13m. Now this is just plain equation solving now. This is real simple. So I'm going to add 3 and add 3. I get 39 is equal to negative 13m. And how do I get rid of that minus 13? The coefficient on the m, it's attached with multiplication. So I'm going to divide it by negative 13 on both sides. 39 divided by negative 13 is going to be negative 3. And that's how you solve these. Okay? If you need any more help, feel free to see me in class, before class, after class, office hours, whenever you can find me in the hallway. See you tomorrow.